talking about today?
There was a Reddit thread today on how people are really bad at estimating the value of cars and bikes and other vehicles, and how there's kind of a stigma associated with certain vehicles in terms of their perceived prices versus their actual prices. This is something I've noticed a lot with even just like normal cars I've owned. Well, I've owned a 2005 Volvo S60 that was dark gray with black leather that people thought was a very, very expensive car. I sold that thing for $7,000.
Yeah.
Even if the car I was commuting in for the past few years, a 2010 Volkswagen CC, again, not a super expensive car. You know, it's like it was on a kind of like $15,000 range. I was giving a coworker a ride to lunch a few months ago, and we got in, and he commented, "Oh wow, this is some kind of James Bond car." It's a facade with a different body. It's a commuter car, but there was a perception of it being much better than it actually was, and much more expensive than it actually was. Is this something you've seen?
Yeah, actually, but in a different perspective, actually. So when I owned my Mustang, everyone was always like, that must have been really expensive. You know, like, how much did you pay for it? And at the time, I think I paid like $6,000 or $7,000. I mean, I bought it when I was just out of high school. It was not expensive. And so, but I always got that all the time, was like you look at the quality interior, it was just garbage, you know? Like,
I remember that Mustang, like, interior-wise, there was a lot to be desired. I mean, mechanically, there was a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
That's a nice Honda.
Yeah. Little CB. Yeah, so, like, I mean, I got that all the time. I think it's weird with Volkswagens, because I got that with my TDI as well. Like, oh, man, this is a nice car for how old it is. What year is it? You know, and I'd be like, oh, it's a 99. And they'd be like, wow, you know, it was just a Mark IV TDI. You know, there's nothing special about it.
And oftentimes you get these comments from people who are driving cars that are worth much more than yours. Often newish Camrys, Corollas, trucks especially. I was looking to buy a truck recently.
Trucks are ridiculous.
I just had to back out of that.
Yeah.
Because I just could not believe how much even an old F-150 or Ranger goes for.
Oh, I know. It's daylight robbery. We have a buddy who just bought a truck, actually, and I think he spent $30,000. And like, he got a good deal, but it's only a 2010, you know?
Right, $30,000 is about twice as much as I ever spent on any single car.
Oh, I know, and it's used. I don't understand.
And it's not anything like special. It's not like some kind of performance package, is it? It's just a truck, right?
Yeah, it's just a regular. Well, it has a lift kit and like some modifications.
So some nice things, but not anything like a Raptor or anything.
No, it's not supercharged. It's got like a light. It's got like a flash tuner or something on it, and that's about it. Like, you know what I mean? Exhaust, flash tuner, and a lift, and that's as far as it goes with that one. What about you? I mean, I know BMWs get this a lot, you know, like used BMWs get that whole, oh my god, it's so expensive, but really a used BMW is like, what, $3,000?
Right, and depending on the kind of crowd you're rolling with, I feel like you can get judged a little bit like that. For example, when I was a student, people made some assumptions based on how nice the interior of my car was. Because a lot of my friends were just driving, ratty old Toyotas,
like
which granted were not quite as expensive as.
I find this to be true a lot with people who don't know a lot about cars. You know what I mean? Right. So like, your mom's like, "Wow, this is a nice car," and it's like, "Yeah, I spent $8,000 on it." You know what I mean? And I feel like that's really the case. Where it's versus like, if you or me got in the car, we'd kind of know what you were getting. You know what I mean?
If you've seen these Chevy ads on TV that everyone's complaining about, where they put people in a Malibu and people say, "Oh, it's like a BMW or Audi." Well, it's because they have no idea what a BMW or Audi is, or the only one they've seen is like a 15-year-old one, which is a modern Malibu is going to feel interior-wise like a 15-year-old BMW.
It's like, what do you think of when you sit in an Audi? What brings to mind? Black leather is what comes to mind.
Yeah, the piano black exterior and a black leather interior and a black dashboard.
So when I sit in my friend's Audi, his S5, right? It's not leather. It doesn't have leather. It's like Alcantara.
Oh, Alcantara.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I like leather. Don't get me wrong. But what is this guy doing?
What are you doing?
Hi, guy. You know you can't cross there. There's like a bulldozer in the way. He did it anyway. He didn't care.
Yeah, so another thing on those features, like for example, heated seats. Well, heated seats, you know, maybe 15 years ago, that was a really weird luxury feature, but today heated seats are standard. I don't think most people realize that modern luxury cars have massage chairs.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
they're still comparing their new car to what they thought BMW was like 15 years ago.
Absolutely. And then, you know, Kia's really, I think it's a Kia, is doing it as well, where they're like, oh, I can't have a bunch of valets park their new Kia. Yeah, he's like, oh, is it a Rolls Royce? And it's like, no, it's not a fucking Rolls Royce, okay? Like, does it look like a Rolls Royce? Like, and all it was
That's
a
like showing someone a McDonald's hamburger and asking what it was, and it's like, oh, is it caviar? Is it filet mignon?
Yeah, like no.
So interiors are, I think, one area where people have no reference, and so they make assumptions which are way off. Another,
Yeah.
I feel like, is cosmetics. I went down to the park the other day to meet up with you, actually. I parked my bike and I was waiting for you because you were late as usual.
Par for the course.
And a guy walking a dog who was actually interested in kind of getting into motorcycles actually walked up to me and started chatting.
Man, this is some hard riding, actually.
I know
Everyone's
the right
going. I don't. I'm like having to ride the bumps and stuff. Like, this kind of sucks.
So the guy walking his dog with the bike started, we got chatting, and he was asking, well, how much is it to get into a bike like that? Like, that's got to be like, what, $11,000? And I was like,
fuck no.
Fuck no, this is a $4,000 motorcycle. I'm wearing $1,000 of safety gear. You know, I spent $250 on licensing and education and getting all the paperwork done. And apparently this bike I'm riding now looks like it's worth double or triple what I put into it.
I think that people don't really understand how much a motorcycle is really worth, though, because, like, for example, I get questions about how much this bike costs all the time, which is like, this is a 250 Ninja. This is not an expensive bike. I can find this bike for $2,000 with almost no miles on it.
Now I can really understand that 1,300 because, to be fair,
the 300s look good, yeah. Fairings mean fast, apparently.
And I know all the manufacturers know this. That's why Mazda, for example, has the design language that they do on all their models.
Absolutely.
Not just the speed models and not just the Miata, but on every model they have those go faster lines.
Yeah, no, absolutely they do. Because, you know, it sells the idea, you know? It sells the idea of going fast without having to spend a lot of money. We can go right. It's a slow right, though. It's really tight. That was an SRT fucking Jeep. What overkill. That car is faster than just about every other car we've seen today.
And you wouldn't know it by looking at it.
No.
So, yeah, exterior cosmetics plays a huge role.
Yes, it does.
I think a third reason why people misvalue cars is because a lot of people don't realize how rich the used market is.
Oh,
in terms of excellent vehicles that you can have for a fraction of what they were worth. Like the car I just bought, it's a Volvo XC90. That was $50,000 new. 10 years later, I bought it for under 10.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I will be putting thousands of dollars of maintenance into it in the coming years. But even then, with all that added together, I'm paying less than half the price of a new, barely comparable car. So my family has never... Okay, my family bought a new car once, which was the first car we bought when we came to America, and that was a Robocop Taurus. Since then, we've never bought a new car, so I don't have any reference for this. I want to know, why do people buy new cars instead of, say, certified pre-owned and slightly used cars?
My grandparents buy new cars, and my parents buy used cars, right?
Right.
And the reason that my grandparents buy new cars is for reliability. They don't want to have to deal with oil changes and things like that. They want to take it to a dealership, and that's it. That's the entirety of it. You know, they're going to take it to the dealership will handle it, they don't have to think about it.
So they're Lincoln's customer base. I think this is genius what Lincoln's doing. When you buy a newer Lincoln from them, they will valet your car to the service center while you're out. From your driveway to the service center and leave it back in your driveway.
I don't always drive a Kawasaki. I just like the way it feels.
I'm pretty sure you mean Kawasaki, let's get casual. So I guess what we would encourage anyone watching to do is take a look at your local classifieds. In Utah, that's KSL, but for most places that should be Craigslist. And just take a look at what's on there. See, look at all these cars that are just been posted in the last couple hours in KSL.
Yeah, I mean, like what? The 944. We got a Passat S M3. We've got an XJ or X Type. Wow, I can't speak today.
A Jetta TDI, an S60R, another S60 Turbo.
Yeah, a G35 Sport.
X5.
Land Rover Discovery.
A Koenigsegg Agera. I can see myself in one of those.
Absolutely, man.
For $1,000, that's a steal.
It's a compact, man. Like it's practical.
That's the perfect car right there, and it wasn't that expensive.
$1,000.
Should we pass or should we road?
Nah.
All right,
We'll chill.
wait, one friend. So what I would really encourage you to do is take a look at your local classifieds. That's KSL in Utah and Idaho, Craigslist everywhere else. If you're interested in bikes, just look at all the bikes that have been posted in the last 24 hours. If you're interested in cars, narrow it down a little. Just look at what's being posted there. I think you'd be surprised, and I think you might find something you might like. Shall we sign off?
Yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed the video. As always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and join us next time.